After 3 months of behind-the-scenes maneuvering, Friday evening, Mayor Brandon Johnson's appointed school board looks to push out Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez. There will be a cost politically and financially. Martinez has an ironclad contract and strong support, even if the mayor and the Chicago Teachers Union want Martinez out. More now from our political reporter, Marianne Ahern.
CPS CEO Pedro Martinez has refused to resign, has been not willing to accept a settlement, and now likely to be fired even without a cause. He still stands to receive at least 6 months of his $340,000 salary. Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias, mentioned as a possible 2027 mayoral candidate, questions the firing.
The mayor should choose who they want in positions of leadership. This seems to me, you have a guy who's doing a really good job, who's making tough decisions, who understands the long-term fiscal challenges. I don't understand the attack on him. I've worked with him. He's great.
However, mayoral ally Alderman Byron Cicho Lopez disagrees.
We do think that this needs to be settled tomorrow. I urge the board members to make a decision. They are the ones calling to make a decision. This has become a distraction.
The mayor's hand-picked school board resigned over the firing of Martinez and agreeing to a $300 million loan for the CTU contract. But now the mayor's newly appointed board appears ready to say yes before the first ever hybrid board is sworn in, which includes 10 elected school board members.
We're just weeks away from being seated. So let us be a part of the evaluation of Pedro Martinez. Let's not make any big decisions.
Not only is the meeting scheduled for the Friday night before the 2-week holiday break, Alderman Deborah Silverstein is critical. It will happen on the Jewish Sabbath.
For those that are observant, having it on a Friday evening would mean that they are totally prohibited.
Weighing in as well, Alderman Bill Conway, who says it's irresponsible for Mayor Johnson's school board to oust Martinez in the middle of contract negotiations for refusing to take out a high-interest short-term loan. Marianne Ahern, NBC5 News.
Let's take a turn right now to a new legal twist that surfaces in the battle for current CPS CEO Pedro Martinez to keep his job. The school board is meeting right now to discuss his future. NBC5's JC Navarrete live outside of the Coleman School with how the night's going there. JC?
Yeah, Steph and Marion, we actually came inside. Thankfully, it's a lot warmer in here, and the saga continues this afternoon. Pedro Martinez reading the writing on the wall, trying to get ahead here of the board's efforts to get rid of him, going as far as filing a brand new lawsuit here today against the Chicago Board of Education, and every single member has been named in that lawsuit. A source close to Martinez tells us that those board members will actually be handed the paperwork inside the board meeting that happened about 15 minutes ago. That's when that meeting started. We're still waiting to see if they get handed the paperwork. Martinez also telling the source, quote, "I just want to do my job." Now, of course, Martinez is now looking to the courts to, of course, help him save his job. That's why he's filed this lawsuit. He believes that his firing would actually violate the terms of his contract. And Martinez is not the only one that is looking for him to stay at the top of CPS. He's had a lot of backing, including dozens of aldermen, and has a lot of support from the newly elected board that is just weeks away from being sworn in. Those members do not want anything to happen until they get their input. Now, at the center of the discussion, of course, is Mayor Brandon Johnson, who has been calling for the removal of Martinez, even going as far as offering him a buyout, which Martinez, of course, turned down. We'll remind you the previous Board of Education actually stepped down in support of Martinez in early October as they refused to terminate the CEO. Mayor Johnson then handpicked their replacements, and that is what brings us to where we are today. The tension between Martinez and Johnson traces all the way back to the budget when Martinez refused to take on a $300 million high-interest loan, which would have funded the teachers' raises and those pensions. Now, again, that board meeting started about 15 minutes ago. It's happening 3 feet to my right. I'm going to be heading right back inside, try to get you guys some answers and get some clarity as to what exactly is going on. We will have that update for you when I see you again at 10 o'clock. For now, I'll send things back to you guys in the studio.
JC Navarrete at the Coleman School tonight. JC, we'll see you at 10 o'clock. Thank you. So big story in just the past hour. The Chicago Public School Board voted to remove CEO Pedro Martinez. The board also took a vote tonight to keep Acero charter schools open. NBC5's JC Navarrete live at Coleman School in the Bronzeville neighborhood with breaking details tonight. JC?
Stefan, good evening. We were all on the edge of our seats waiting for that decision. It did take a couple hours, but this is where we are now. All ties have now been cut between CPS CEO Pedro Martinez and the Board of Education. Now, I can tell you, of course, he did lose his job, but he is, of course, going to be getting paid. This was the moment we were all waiting for.
6 ayes, 0 nays. These matters are adopted by the board.
All right, and of course, that was the moment we were all patiently waiting to learn the fate of Martinez. The board was in executive session for nearly 2 hours. The board has now approved to terminate Martinez without cause, and that's going to activate a lot of benefits for Martinez per his contract. For one, he will be paid for the next 180 days while he continues his duties for CPS with modifications. He will be staying to aid in a smooth transition. He will also be getting a one-time lump sum payment equaling 20 weeks of his salary. Before that decision was made, there was a lot of back and forth in public comment.
When Pedro had a chance to go to the state, and the same way we're using all of this public money for PR stunts, instead of using that effort with support to stop prisons from being built, which used the scores of these Inglewood kids, we chose to do nothing.
Stop hiding behind Chicago students to justify the political money grab. No amount of spin can obscure what you are about to do here. You're advocating your autonomy and self-respect by carrying out this plan, and it will dishonor your names and reputations for the rest of your careers.
And of course, Martinez also spoke with us earlier this evening. He cited being disappointed by the board's decision. However, he says he stays committed here to staying on for the next 180 days in aiding students and teachers.
I will do everything in my power that I can do over the next 6 months to make sure that we continue or to begin to the implementation. I will work with my team, our district leaders, to ensure a smooth transition at the right time for whoever holds my position next.
Now, the board also voting this evening to start negotiations with the Acero schools. A big win for those families that were out here trying to save that school system. But the headline here tonight, of course, has to be CPS board fires Pedro Martinez without cause. And I do have to apologize. They've turned off the lights here. It seems like we're burning the midnight oil here. But we do, of course, now have a resolution to the saga that started earlier this summer. Again, that headline, Pedro Martinez out, fired without cause this evening. Stefan?
Okay. JC Navarrete there at the Coleman School in Bronzeville tonight. Thank you so much, JC.